What's going on? My reefing fan March here. This is Fragbox TV. Woo! Another day. Okay, what are we going to talk about today? I'm going to talk to you about this, alkalinity. Very, very important in a reef tank. But before I get to this, I want to show you a bulldog. Oh my God. Look at this little doggy. No, not really him. I want to show you this. It's coming. The Fragbox merch. It's on the way. We are just prototyping. We're just trying the material. It's so soft. Just like so nice, so soft, so clean. Looks good. Just like the store. Trying to keep it clean. Finally getting back into the swing of things. Boxing Day over. Happy New Year, everybody. I like the gray one. You know what? What do you guys think? We're gonna do. We want some feedback. This one is a. I think it's. What did we get? A hoodie? A sweater? And look what it says. Can you believe it? Reef fam. We're gonna try these on tomorrow. We're gonna get back to that. This is not today's video, but I just want to share. I'm excited to enter the chapter of reef clothing. We had a big problem with this. If you don't know what this is the bane of my existence. This makes reef keeping difficult sometimes. Alkalinity, very, very important. Measurement of the hardness of the water. These three actually quite important. Alkalinity, calcium, magnesium. Very important for maintaining like natural seawater conditions so that your reef tank at home looks nice and pretty like this, and all your corals are happy and thriving because your water matches the same conditions as the ocean. And that's really what we're trying to do in this hobby. We don't maintain corals. That's what we always say. I'm not maintaining a frog spawn. All I'm maintaining is the water. On a bigger picture, we're just trying to keep it as close as we can to natural seawater. And we're trying to avoid swings. What's a swing? When something jumps up and down and goes all around. And the big one for me that I'm always battling with is this one. Calcium, if it swings, it's not so bad. You know, low calcium, your corals aren't going to grow as fast. They're not going to look as healthy. High calcium, it starts to precipitate out of the water. Also not good. If you're new to the channel, this is embarrassing. Sidetrack of the day. This is usually full. And if you're not new to the channel, then you already know. This is normally very full of coral. We're just waiting for a shipment. We're kind of COVID kind of picked up again, Omicron, whatever cron we're on right now. It's getting difficult again to get corals. We'll hopefully have some new ones coming very, very soon. So this emptying of this tank is what led to our alkalinity problem. So calcium, like I said, very important, not lethal. Magnesium, when it gets too low, I think a lot of reefers keep their mag too low. You guys always hear me talk about the importance of magnesium, especially when it comes to LPS corals. To get your hammers like this, like very happy. This is a blue hammer, by the way. If you ever wanted to know what a blue hammer looks like, that's it. Fat and puffy and just loving life, high magnesium. I'm talking 1500, 1600. No problem. High magnesium, I promise you, you're not going to hurt anything. That's how high we keep it in here. That's how high we keep it in all of our tanks. Check it out. Proof's in the pudding. Let me show you this one. Tia's Little Evo. We keep it 1500. Look at the corals. I promise you, you're not going to hurt anything. It's better in excess. Feel free to raise it. And if you ever get really, really low, we're going to put you on our low mag wall of shame. If you ever beat Quake, 1080 parts per million mag, you get a free bottle of magnesium because Lord knows you need it. I never thought anyone would beat Tyler. Anyways, that's magnesium. Now, the real one, alkalinity. This, for me, if there's only one that I'm going to really watch and pay attention to, it's this sucker right here. Very, very important to keep this stable. When we start talking about hard corals, SPS, acropora, those kind of things, alkalinity stability is key to success for all corals, really. But, you know, this coral here, this soft coral, or this gorgonian, I can swing the alk all day, and they're not going to give a damn. It's LPS, and then more so I see in the SPS. How much is a swing? So I'm measuring in DKH. You can also measure with this over here. This is the Hanna Alkalinity Checker. It measures in parts per million. They offer a DKH one as well. And we also use this fancy tool. This is the Neptune Apex Trident. If you don't know what that is, this is an aquarium controller system. And if you can afford it, because it's not cheap, this will automatically test your calcium, your alk, and your magnesium up to, 24 times a day. I think you can check every hour if you're a crazy person. We have it set to 4 times a day. You want to get into this system, it's going to run you $1,500, $1,600. Well worth the money. That's a whole separate video. So, why am I doing this video today on alkalinity? We had a pretty nasty swing here. So these are actually all connected. And I want to do videos like this because then maybe I can share my experience, and then, you know, if I kill a coral, then you don't have to. So these are all connected. In the basement, I will show you, actually, if you want to come down with me in a second. You can't see it here, but they all drain down into the basement. Let's check underneath the skirt. See here? That is the drain and the return. And they go plump, 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 plump. They go down to a very large sump. So what happened was, now we had this swing. How big is the swing, by the way? About 1. And what do we keep our alkalinity at? We shoot for about 8 here in the store. We try and keep it around, so close to natural seawater at all times. Maybe high 7s, like 7.9, 8.0 DKH. So typically this is full of coral. Then we have this crazy thing called Boxing Day, where our customers come in and go crazy. It's like our version of Black Friday. For our American viewers, we call it Boxing Day. We do it the day after Christmas. And what happens is we start bagging corals like crazy people. I mean, this is a 6-inch bag, probably holds, I don't know, 1/4 of a gallon, couple 100 milliliters, and we start bagging corals. Maybe you already see where this is going. And we start taking corals out of the water. And now, instead of having 200 healthy corals consuming a certain amount of alkalinity, suddenly we've taken away all the corals from the water. So I'm dosing, because we're dosing to keep our alkalinity elevated. We use Red Sea Foundation Pro. I'm dosing as if there's 250 colonies here and 150 other frags and 500. But now we had this massive sale and boom, all these corals suddenly in a couple hours are gone. And me, in all my wisdom, I forgot to adjust the dosing. So the next day when I came in, our alkalinity was not 8.0, our alkalinity was 10. And that was a nice big jump. So that's a spike in alkalinity. Then I got nervous because we jumped up to 10 and I turned off the doser. And we took a day off or 2 days off, a breather after Boxing Day, and I forgot I turned off the doser. So now we went 8, 10, because all the corals are gone. Me and all my wisdom, turn off the doser. 7, that's a swing. 8, 10, 7, turn the doser back on, stabilize now. We're sitting at about 8.2, 8.3. That's what we're trying to avoid. Obviously, you know, you have a tank at home. You're not one day going to take out and sell half of the corals. I don't know, actually, maybe you would. That's a very weird sort of scenario, that you would remove all the coral from the tank all at once. It's a rookie mistake. I've made it before, and now maybe that I'm sharing my experience with you. Maybe you're a store owner, maybe you'll learn from this, maybe you're just interested or like listening to me speak, but maybe someone will remind me next year for Boxing Day, hey March, hey dummy, remember that video you did? Make sure you don't swing your elk, because we get caught up sometimes and there's just a lot going on in the store, and that was an elk swing. That's what I would consider a swing. 1 to 2 points up and down, not good. What happened? Because of that swing, we did lose a couple of our nice acro. And oddly enough, let me see where it is. I think we've taken out most of the dead ones. This hammer over here, I think that was because of that swing. Very, very much not happy. And a handful of other LPS. It wasn't that bad. It could have been much worse. We corrected it in time, but anything like that, any sort of changes like that, very stressful on the corals, on the system. Like I say, I keep repeating myself. We're trying to keep everything stable as can be so that all of our corals will look like this, happy and plump and looking exactly how Mother Nature intended them to look. If you're not currently testing your alkalinity, I would recommend going out and getting a test kit. If you don't want to spend $2,000, actually go with this one right here. I really like this brand. You're probably going to find it locally. If you're in the States, check out BRS, Bulk Reef Supply. I'm sure they're going to have it. It's Aqua Forest, and it's that one right there. Actually, I like all of them, but their elk test is inexpensive. It's about 20 bucks. You get 60 tests. It's very easy to use. It's a couple drops. I think I've done other videos on how to test alkalinity. Maybe I'll see if I can link it in the bottom. And then it's as simple as this. Your alkalinity is low, add alkalinity. I like Red Sea. This is very simple to use. It's basically just a bottle. It's a liquid bottle. It's low. Follow the directions. It says here it wants 1 ml for every 100 liters. Do the math. To increase by 0.1 until you get to whatever level you decide. The longer you're in the hobby, the more you get to know your tank. You're going to kind of find your sweet spot over time. I think that's about it for alkalinity. I could do a much longer video on elk, but YouTube tells me that around this, I think we're around the 10-minute mark. That's when you guys start to drop off and say, enough with this guy. I'm going to live my life. But we'll wrap this one up and we'll do it again tomorrow, because now that we're kind of getting back into our groove, we're going to keep trying to do the video a day thing, you know, that content overload that you guys have come to love over the past year. I can't believe it's been a year. Can you believe it? They put up with us for an entire year. 1 year of our nonsense. You and me, puppy. I don't know how long this guy's gonna be here. He's actually turning, I think he's like 11 or 12 this month. He's very old and very stinky. But he'll be here tomorrow because we'll do it again. And we'll keep doing it until you guys all drop off and don't want to listen to us speak anymore. Thanks for watching this episode. Have a nice day wherever you're watching from. And we'll see you mañana. Bye-bye.